Hundreds of elderly political donors, including those with dementia, have fallen victim to Republican and Democratic political campaigns and groups. As we get further into the article, it's going to become so clear that this is more of a Republican problem than a Democrat problem, but obviously because it's CNN, they have to open with like, yeah, we're not partisan, actually. Hitler and Roosevelt have both had policies that, you know, grew to be unpopular. Oh, this is like a whole thing. I didn't see the... Oh my God. Donations an 80-year-old former engineer made to two Republican political groups from 2022 to 2024. In September 2022, he made his first dono through WinRed, a $250 contribution to Ron Johnson for Senate. In just over a month, he had donated 344 times, giving over 10,000. What the f***? That's 10 times a day. By December 5th, he had donated over 2,000 times, totaling more than 100,000. On March 6th, he donated 57 times with one donation as small as 25 cents, several as large as 100. I'm sorry, 57 times just on March 6th. Gotcha. How? I'm guessing that he's not mentally well. That would be my guess. Yeah. The 80-year-old communications engineer from Texas had saved for decades, driving around in an old car and buying clothes from thrift stores so he'd have enough money to enjoy his retirement years. But as dementia robbed him of his reasoning abilities, he began to make online political donations over and over again, eventually telling his son he believed he was part of a network of political operatives communicating with key Republican leaders. In less than 2 years, the man became one of the country's largest grassroots supporters of the Republican Party, ultimately giving away nearly $500,000 to former President Donald Trump and other candidates. Now the savings account he spent his whole life building is practically empty. More than 1,000 reports filed with government agencies and consumer advocacy groups reviewed by CNN, along with an analysis of campaign finance data and interviews with dozens of contributors and their family members, show how deceptive political fundraisers have victimized hundreds of elderly Americans and misled those battling dementia or other cognitive impairments. Okay, can I make a recommendation that sounds like a joke, but I kind of think it's real? I think that you should go to your grandparents' house and unplug their internet and phone. I literally, like, it's one of those under-discussed issues, and a lot of people roll their eyes at it because they don't understand the scope of the problem because they're young and internet savvy, so they're not getting caught up in it. But there is legitimately like a 40 to 50% chance that you have an elderly relative who has within the past month fallen victim to a phishing scam or has been taken advantage of financially in some way or another. You know? Like, it is so widespread. And they probably shouldn't be able to drive either, but that's a different conversation. Now, my grandparents are dead. That's true. That would also prevent them from getting scammed. You know how good AI generation is getting these days? They're cooked. It literally, anyone could like find your grandparents' number because they have it on Facebook or something, find your linked profile, get some photos of you, use it to build one of those live, like 3D reconstruct a person's face, like a FaceTime app kind of thing. Call them with it and say like, "Hello, it's me, your child. I'm doing a replica of their voice because I saw a few videos of them on the timeline. Please give me $1,000." This could 100% happen to my grandpa. Yeah. This happened to my dad, not even joking. Yeah. That happened with a coworker of mine. It's insane. Yeah. People with dead grandparents should still unplug the internet just to be sure. You don't want their ghosts getting fished. This is crazy. And like, it should be clear, I'm only a little bit sympathetic to the old people here because I know that this is a dementia thing, but this is also a being a fascist thing, right? Like, I don't think dementia makes you donate $500,000 to fascists. I think that dementia influenced the way in which he expressed probably pre-existing political biases. But even then, that's not even necessarily a guarantee. That's the up thing. You could live your entire life having like a normal head, and then you turn 73 and you have trouble remembering what you had for breakfast that morning, and then you start being like really, really susceptible to certain types of messaging, and you just get really fearful from some news that you see online, and then like 6 months later, you're like, well, shit, you know, like my apartment block is next. Tren de Aragua is making their way north. Like I have to protect my grandchildren. I have to donate to Trump. Old age dementia is my biggest fear. That's why my phone can only be unlocked with a quick Sudoku puzzle. And if it ever takes me more than 30 seconds, the C4 that I have placed inside the phone case detonates and kills me instantly. If it's ever an issue, if If I ever get a little bit too slow, I want to go out. I want to go out early. My 94-year-old grandpa says that if he ever gets dementia, he's going to kill himself. 94? He's already won. What do you mean? He's already victorious. I will remember to kill myself when I get dementia. It's like Memento. You have it like tattooed on the back of your hand, you know? You have a Sudoku puzzle tattooed on the back of your hand. You're like, do this every morning. If you can't, use this. And tape to your palm, a Glock. Ah, very helpful. Keep going like that 23 years. Yeah, look at CNN pulling your leg. Win Red has had nearly 7 times more FTC complaints than Act Blue. Thanks CNN. Democrats and Republicans have taken advantage of your elderly loved ones, but obviously, yeah, it's like much more on the right. Because obviously, like I'm sorry, if you have like 80-year-olds with dementia panic donating their savings away, who the do you think they support? Like, come on. Have you ever like gotten bombarded with like Trump mailing list bullshit because someone signed you up for a mailing list, as often happens to me with my public email or any other thing like that? You're getting like 17 emails a day. Like, listen, I'm Trump and I need you, personally you, to join my team to destroy, you know, China. One 82-year-old woman who wore pajamas with holes in them because she didn't want to spend money on new ones didn't realize she had given Republicans more than $350,000 while living in a 1,000-square-foot Baltimore condo since 2020. Jesus. By the time a Taiwanese immigrant from California passed away from lung cancer this year at age 80, she had given away more than $180,000 to Trump's campaign and a litany of other Republican candidates, writing letters to candidates apologizing for not getting donos to them on time because she was going into heart surgery. This is how you make me feel when you donate and say shit like, hey man, going into grad school soon. Sorry, don't have enough to donate more. Hope you're doing well. And it's a $10 dono. This is how you make me feel, okay? Don't do that. She had only $250 in her bank account when she died, leaving her family scrambling to cover the cost of her funeral. And a 78-year-old, a widow who limited showers to save on her water bill and canceled her long-term care insurance, didn't understand why the retirement savings her husband had left her was dwindling so quickly. After CNN reached out to her family, they learned the woman had given more than $200,000 in donations to Democratic political groups and candidates. Yikes. I gotta say, I think that, I think subscription should be illegal. I think I might be coming around to like the most radical version of this position. I think that subscriptions as a concept, any auto charging should be illegal. I think that like we should just bend the rules around utility payments and everything else that you have to pay monthly. Like, because I have auto pay set up for like everything basically, but like I could just pay it manually, you know? But like I'm a well-off, mentally competent, sometimes 30-year-old, you know? We shouldn't be structuring laws around something that saves me 60 seconds a month, you know? Like, how long would it take me to make those manual payments? Literally, like, sit down, da-da-da-da-da, 3 minutes, and I've done, like, utilities, blah-da-blah, everything, right? But then sometimes even if you're mentally competent, you lose track of subscriptions. Have you, like, at any point gone through your bank statements and gone, what the Roku? When... And then you're like looking back with horror, and then for the past like 27 months, because like offhandedly you wanted to watch one show one time or something, you know? That's the entire Netflix model. Adobe is the devil with this. Yeah, I think that auto pay should just be you. We'll get you. I don't feel bad at all with you, mother. You earn it. You're paying your damn tithe. Tithe? Tithe? Tithe. That must be how it's pronounced. No. The 16th century peasant, my 12 children are sharing a bowl of gruel right now. You managed to keep 12? Your wife must have very wide hips to have kept so many through childbirth. You're blessed by the gods. Wait, by God. Sorry. I'm not a pagan! Don't burn me at the stake! I'm not a pagan! It was a slip-up. We're D&D posting. You ever get to that point where you've played so much D&D with your friends that you're offhandedly, you stop saying like by God or whatever and you say by the gods? Maybe you've like watched too much Lord of the Rings shit or whatever, or too much fantasy, so it's just because I don't believe in the one God, I don't believe in the multiple or the one. It's just like an offhanded term for me, you know. By the 8. There are more and less soy versions of this. I'll own up to it. I'm a little soy sometimes. Gotta watch my cholesterol. I'm a grown-ass man now. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, this harrowing reality. Really, though, I do think subscription payments should be illegal. I think that every single time your card is billed, there should be an active check. And I know that would be inconvenient in a lot of ways, but I think that it would only be inconvenient to most people, and for some people, it could potentially be very, very good. So, Vosh, you getting rid of auto-renew on your website? Joke's on you. That shit ain't worked in a while. Actually, I think it works very temperately, okay? Free trials that go straight to autopay are like the most predatory version of this. Okay, that, like, we can all agree that should be illegal, right? Like, that's the most obvious one possible for illegality. That's just evil. Like, your entire business model is people forget to cancel you. Evil. Like, you should be arrested. Donald Trump and other Republicans took in millions from this small sampling of vulnerable seniors. 6 million in contributions from just 52 elderly, unwitting donors. Whoo! That could have gone to you guys. You could have paid off your college debt. Can there be lawsuits over this? I mean, there have been complaints filed. That's kind of what this is about. The controversial features that fools many donors is a pre-checked box campaigns use to automatically authorize recurring donos. Donors don't often realize they need to uncheck that box. Yeah, having it auto-checked is. Did click to cancel go through yet? Wasn't Biden going after junk fees? Didn't he go after junk fees? Yeah? That's pretty good. Click to cancel like just happened. His FTC is incredible. Unironically, if Trump wins, even if Kamala wins, depending on what she does, Biden's FTC is like God tier, like like, you know, it's like NLRB tier, maybe even better. The FTC has been doing work. 4 hours ago, FTC's click to cancel rule would make it easier to end subscriptions. A proposed rule from the Federal Trade Commission aims to let consumers easily cancel unwanted subscriptions. Many businesses argue the move is unnecessary meddling that will harm consumers. Great, thank you. If your business model relies on it being difficult to end a subscription, how? Because they're evil. You ever tried to cancel a gym membership? Raise your hand if you have. They are crazy. Richard Benjamin, an 81-year-old from Arizona, believed he had been in personal communication with former President Trump through all the messages he was receiving. Yeah, this is the shit that you get when you're signed up for the Trump donos. I want to meet you. A personal note from President Donald J. Trump. I'm hosting a very special reception at Mar-a-Lago next month. That's right. I want you to join me at Mar-a-Lago. I'll fly you and a guest of your choice out to the event free. I'll cover everything. Da, da, da. It gets worse than this, too. It's insane, man. Like, if you're an elderly dipshit, this is like crack cocaine. At one point, Richard Benjamin told his children the former president invited him to a luxurious reception at Mar-a-Lago. That's nice, Grandpa. He had grown up on a farm and worried he would feel out of his element at such a fancy venue. Oh, my God. But when he received what he described to his children as an invitation to be a VIP at a rally in Arizona, he was thrilled he would finally meet the former president himself. He started making travel plans and asked his sister-in-law if she would like to accompany him, since his wife had passed away in 2018. Man, it's brutal. It is brutal. It's difficult to, like... Later, he told his son how angry he was that Donald Trump Jr. wouldn't call him back, even though the former president's son had sent Benjamin so many nice messages. He was old, lonely, and isolated, his son, Jason Benjamin, told CNN, saying the pandemic only compounded the isolation. Save America, help save America, that was the constant message. He would get thanked for helping to save America. Richard Benjamin, who now lives in a memory care unit at an assisted living facility. I don't want to get grim, man, but, like, put me down before putting me in the damn memory care unit. Jesus. Maybe we're too down on it. You know how millennials who are struggling to make their car payments will look at a video of a jellyfish floating in the sea and they'll say, damn, I wish that was me, no cares in the world. Maybe being dementia-addled and in a memory care unit is just like that, and we think it's horrifying because rather than fully transforming into the jellyfish, you just kind of, your brain transforms into the brain of one. You know? Like, you're just like a little, you're just like a dude. Nah, it sucks. Yeah, probably. You're probably, like, haunted. Imagine being a jellyfish, but every once in a while you get, like, a PTSD flashback to, like, pulling up at an Arby's drive-thru with your wife in the passenger seat and you briefly remember her face and name, and then that she's been dead for 6 years and then you forget again? I don't know. I wouldn't want to be that kind of jellyfish. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Isn't your grandfather 96 and lucid? My grandpa is like cracked, man. It's insane. He's 96. He doesn't give a shit. He's chilling. He's fine. Down there in Florida, 2 hurricanes hit. Is he fine? Yeah, he's fine. I check. Is he fine? Yeah, he's fine. He doesn't give a shit. Oh, hurricanes? Whatever. I was in the damn Navy. What is a hurricane if not a little bit of water? I used to deal with a lot of water. I'm getting "this is literally you" messages from my partner right now. I can't see what the thing is that's literally me because it's an Instagram link, but it's probably a drawing of a bunny rabbit or something. Feels apropos given what we're talking about. Richard Benjamin would look forward to the emails and texts, especially to the ones thanking him for being a true American and a patriot. So they're watching and they say it's a mouse. I was close. Oh man, there's a video? Is that him? Is this the guest of honor at Mar-a-Lago?
So you made more than 100 donations in one day.
My gosh.
The Benjamin family has had this conversation before. 81-year-old Richard Benjamin just doesn't remember.
So between these 2 months, it's over $60,000.
Richard Benjamin has dementia.
When read.
Okay, actual question, not trying to victim blame. If you have a parent or grandparent or whatever who has dementia, can't you do that? The thing where they lose their rights as a person and you become their ward? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like past a point, a person, conservatorship or whatever it's called, power of attorney, whatever the technical, you understand the gist of what I'm getting at here. Like, they shouldn't be able to make any financial decisions, right? Like, if you have dementia, I feel like the financial decisions that you make, you should have like a $5 bill every week and you can choose whether you want the Twix bar or the lollipop. You know? Depending on the state, it's very difficult and takes a long time. And I imagine pretty much every dementia patient would resist it because a lot of people with dementia don't know they have it and they don't like the idea of the independence they've had for, in some cases, half a century or more being revoked, you know? Like, if I started having memory issues, I wouldn't immediately go, "Oh, children of mine, take away my human rights." I would go, "Whatever, I've always had memory issues," and then leave my cell phone in the fridge.
Boy, there was a lot of them when read ones.
Ultimately, he gave away more than $80,000 in political donations, all going through a fundraising platform called Win Red. Republican campaigns rely on it to solicit donations, often using misleading ads through email and text messages like, "We tried to warn you, but you kept ignoring us."
Yeah, they insane shit they send you.
President Trump personally tapped you. This is not a drill.
When we looked at his phone told the whole story because he would get dozens of text messages a day referring to
Sheesh.
dozens.
Your fundraising verification code, of course. I can't really like pause it quickly and yeah, it won't let me like. Captain Sam Brown nearly burned to death in an ambush. Please handle this message with care and delete after reading. Our hearts sank. This was our last chance. Where's Charlie Kirk? Oh, there's Charlie Kirk. That's Hey, Charlie Kirk here.
Text message.
President Trump's CIA director and Secretary of State took time to write you a note. I only get 2 a day at most from ActBlue. Anytime I donate, I instantly like block the email and block the number. Like, the moment I get anything, instantly, it's all wiped clear. Get away from me.
A day.
This is an emergency. Don't ignore. Don't scroll away. This is Speaker Mike Johnson. I need to update you immediately.
Referring to
Friend, this is an emergency. All right.
to him as a patriot, and thank you for helping us save America.
I was dealing with President Trump, and so it came up that when they wanted to find out what I was doing, that's what I put in.
He really, in his heart, believed that Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and other politicians were personally reaching out to him.
He just didn't have the capacity.
This is what people criticize OnlyFans for, the fake convos and whatnot. Yeah, we need the version of this, of this with OnlyFans on CNN, you know? Mike Benjamin donated $500,000 to so-and-so cam girl. You scroll through the text messages on screen and it's a bunch of like, I need cock now. It's like that meme format, you know? What if they had WhatsApp in Dragon Ball Z and Goku's scrolling through it? Vegeta's like, I need cock now! Like all that. Just hundreds and hundreds of messages. He really thought all of those girls needed cock now.
To understand what it was that he was actually doing.
Benjamin's information was shared across dozens of Republican campaigns, and he was overwhelmed by deceptive messages begging for money. The result? His children say Benjamin was duped into giving away his life savings.
You had to get a
many
home
such
equity
cases
line
in
of
this
credit
community.
to pay this off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it depleted his savings, and then we moved him over here to assisted living and then sold his house.
You had to sell a house, move him,
Sell his car.
sell his car. And this
And then he
is
did
all
it
from
again.
$10 and $25 donations.
He had essentially put himself
Sheesh.
$50,000 in debt after he had given them his life savings.
Do these political campaigns bear some responsibility?
To be clear, by the way, this is 100% intentional on the Trump campaign's part. Like, all political campaigns use alarmist language to get people to donate. That's kind of like how it works. But the Trump, like the way they do their targeted solicitation of donations is very much intended to manipulate the elderly, the weak-minded, the gullible, and the mentally unwell. 100%, absolutely. You get even a little bit of that shit, and it's like, it's genuine, like, crazy person posting. There is no comparison. The Kamala Harris, like, Act Blue kind of stuff, it's literally just stuff like, we need to meet our fundraising goal. Listen, Bosch, just between you and me, only through your support can we defeat Donald Trump. Like, that's about as bad as it gets, really. And it's like, you know, I don't think it compares even remotely to the stuff you see from the Trump solicitation. It's like, it's schizo shit.
They have very sophisticated operations. It's really outrageous. I mean, there's no other way to frame it.
CNN's investigative team reviewed more than 1,000 public reports and complaints and found deceptive political fundraising by Republicans and Democrats has victimized hundreds of elderly Americans, misleading them into donating far more than they intended. And it adds up. A sample of just 52 elderly donors, many who suffer from dementia or cognitive decline, gave away more than $6 million of their life savings.
Cool.
A majority to Donald Trump and other Republican candidates.
She was so careful with money. My mother used to count the pennies. She basically drained all the accounts, everything but $250.
Karen's mother, Jolene, gave Republicans nearly $200,000. She died earlier this summer from stage 4 cancer amid cognitive decline.
Jesus.
We met Karen at her mother's home in California. It's empty as she prepares it for the rental market. Karen asked we not use their last name, fearing retaliation.
This is outrageous. It was like a total fraud. The bank was sending fraud alerts because of it, because they were charging her $3, $20, $15, as if somebody was hacking into your credit card, but it was when Red was charging all these.
Even the money her mother set aside for a funeral was gone.
I have this pit in my stomach. It makes me feel like throwing up. Thinking that the last months of her life were about her being swindled. It's incomprehensible. It really is. It's unconscionable what they've done.
As Karen reviewed her mother's bank records and the text messages on her phone, it became clear how that money disappeared so quickly.
She just got another text.
It's endless.
This is while we've been here.
9:36, 9:44, 9:48.
That, holy shit. 9:44, 9:48, 9:51, 9:53, 9:55. What happens when old people get lonely, I guess. If Texas turns blue, so does the Senate. Help Ted Cruz. A poll just confirmed our worst fears. Don Jr. sent you a personal note. We're so sorry we have to tell you. Facebook doubles down of censorship on film that will... I've reached out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Your state GOP, something. Why are all the numbers different? Because they're done through like call center, like dupe numbers. There's like a big range of numbers that the that are reserved for. It's robots. It's robots.
951, 953, 955.
Vivek Ramaswamy, the first thing I did. Elon, I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus. Do not delete. Speaker Johnson, I need you to do 3 things. Yeah.
956, 1001, 1004, 1006, 1007, 1010, 1014, 1016.
I mean,
yeah, the lesson that I'm getting from this is if you have an elderly parent, steal their phone and look at the messages and make sure that they're not actually losing their mind.
It's every few minutes.
It's every few minutes.
And what does this say?
Make this monthly recurring donation.
And it's checked already.
Yep. Oh my God. This is confusing. Look at this, bright yellow, all these checks, all these directions. I don't
The ticking timer, the countdown.
even know how to make sense of this.
the box is pre-checked, meaning the campaign can automatically withdraw recurring donations, monthly, even weekly. We tried to reach WinRed by phone,
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
text, and email,
All right. 4250.
and then went to the address that WinRed lists as its headquarters in Virginia.
Hi, I'm Kyung Law from CNN. Could I speak with somebody from WinRed?
They are not located in the building on site.
WinRed lists this address officially with the state of Virginia, but they don't actually have anyone here.
If you look at a donor as an endless pile of $25 contributions and not think about the reason they're contributing, that's a problem.
Matthew Hurt is a lifelong Republican and the Arlington, Virginia GOP chair, a rare Republican who does not use WinRed to fundraise.
It shouldn't be.
Maybe the real lesson from this is that if you have a right-wing elderly parent, you should set up your own like donation scam to get their money from them to you, you know? Like, you need to send them emails and be like, hello, it is me, Donald Trump, with an important message for you specifically. And, like, you can kind of, like, you want to siphon it before they can. And that way, when they end up broke, you can be like, oh, don't worry, I'll help you out. I've come into money recently. And you, like, get them a 600 square foot apartment 1.5 hours out of town.
Be complicated or nefarious or tricky or schemy to have somebody make a contribution.
Why are you using the word scheme?
Any platform that tricks older donors into giving money unwittingly seems like a scheme to me.
Though CNN found nearly 7 times more complaints from Republican donors, families of Democratic donors have also unwittingly given away their money. Matt and Dave Weisbart's mother, in cognitive decline, donated more than $200,000 to Democratic campaigns through Act Blue.
Based.
It's theft. It's elder abuse. There's no doubt about it.
By talking publicly, they hope one thing might work to get Act Blue to return some of their mother's life savings: shame.
The right thing to do, the moral thing to do, is to return that money to her. You don't have to. It's not illegal what they did, but it's morally wrong.
WinRed did not reply to our request for comment, but the Trump campaign did, saying that it notifies donors before processing recurring donations and has staff on hand to help with refunds and cancellations. Act Blue did send us a statement saying it has a service team to help donors and accommodates as many refunds as possible beyond a 90-day refund window if there are signs of cognitive decline.
If there are signs? Wait, you have to send them a doctor's note? Okay. The difference between the donation pages that you get for Trump and for Kamala are pretty significant. One new friend request from President Trump versus donate weekly to elect Kamala Harris and support Democrats nationwide. I'm inviting my top consultants like you to join my official advisory board. Accept invitation. Should Comrade Kamala and her campaign go before a grand jury on the Iran corruption case? Do you support President Trump's America First agenda? Do you think President Trump is the greatest president in American history? I am Donald Trump, and I am asking you for a huge favor. I'm going to need you to donate weekly right now, all the way to Election Day. Can I count on your sustained support? Yeah, count me in. Already yellow. Make a weekly recurring donation until 11/5. Message from Trump. Please, I can't win without your help right now. If Kamala wins, it's doomsday for America. Can I count on you to give one more time for a Trump victory landslide to donate an additional amount of money in addition to the automatic recurring payments? Message from Trump. We need to register thousands of new Trump patriots so we can swamp the vote. Can you give one more time to make it and too big to rig with the additional extra donation in addition to the weekly donations and the other additional donation? Hoo-wee. Fundraising pages for the Harris campaign like this one are clearer than those used by Trump. Yeah, I'd say so. Okay, they're not equivocating that much. In Utah, a 69-year-old woman who had a tube surgically placed in her brain to drain fluid from it and had such severe dementia she required around-the-clock home care donated nearly $20,000 to Republican candidates. Median Republican voter right here. In less than 4 months. Brain so cooked you literally needed doctors to install liquid cooling. It's wild. I don't know, man. It's grift all the way down. I don't know what to say. I guess I shouldn't feel so bad that my extremely conservative uncle donated $100,000 to online girlfriend scams. The money could have been used for nefarious means. Yeah, I guess that's true. You can think of it that way. I think that's like the power of positive mental energy moment right there. Like, yeah, at least it went to like probably a sex trafficking ring somewhere in the developing world, and not the Republican Party, which is objectively more evil. Could have also went to PV. Well, then maybe PV should be doing girlfriend scams online. In a utilitarian sense, exactly. That's a rough one.